Hello, you are watching the Pure Passion Biz Podcast with Akua Hinds, and I am your host, Akua Hinds. And today I have the privilege of interviewing Sid Singh. Sid is a small business solutions specialist who has been working in his field for the past 11 years. Sid, so wonderful to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Akua, and allowing me to be interviewed by you. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you. You're most welcome. So I wanted to ask you, first, we're going to be talking about how people can get involved in home-based businesses. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about your journey. So I know that you haven't always been a home-based business owner. How has
Absolutely.
becoming a home-based business owner changed your life?
Well, absolutely, Akua. Great question. So my wife and I, coming from corporate backgrounds, we were just busy, being part of corporate. We were exposed to a company that has a phenomenal business model, such as the company that we're now part of. And it's something that's given us the ability to travel when we want, go on vacation when we want, do what we want, and create passive and residual income, which are two things that we were never taught about in the corporate 9 to 5 culture. So it's really been an amazing journey that we've been on.
That's amazing. So you and your wife are working in this business together then.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Wonderful. And so, how does the way that the two of you do business help you to stand apart from your competition? And first of all, maybe we should talk about who your competition is. So, can you let me know who you think are some people who are maybe your rivals, maybe your competitors, and what makes you stand apart, Sid?
Very good question, Akua. So I would say competition for us, associates in Legal Shield, our small business solution specialist with my designation, are basically traditional law firms. I mean, traditional law firms are number one, very slow, very antiquated system, and number two, very expensive and cumbersome to deal with. With our Legal Shield app, you get 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, legal assistance at the tap of your app. So we've eliminate all barriers for access to the legal system. And we're the most affordable solution for that, for issues, whether it's a personal issue or a business issue.
Thank you so much for clarifying about what makes Legal Shield different from other traditional law firms out there. So there are other Legal Shield representatives in North America. What do you think helps you to stand apart a little bit from other Legal Shield reps? Because I'm getting to know you this past year through networking has been a true joy. You are um, a truly conscientious individual who really seems very sincere about serving. And what do you think helps you to stand apart? What do you think it is that you do that helps you to stand apart from other people who are in the same company?
Very good question, Akua. So I would say myself basically is listening to the other person. There's so many folks that are having challenges, and a lot of folks when they go into these networking events, it's all about pitch, pitch, pitch. It's not about listening and trying to serve and be the best person that you can be of service to help those other folks. I pride myself on being a listener, number one, and being very professional and punctual. Those are the things that I pride myself on, definitely. And it was a pleasure connecting with you and your network within our journey too, as well, of meeting you as someone is what you're doing as well.
Thank you so much. And of course, we'll be networking, I think, on a regular basis because I just love the group that we met in, and I'll
Absolutely.
be attending very soon again. And so I love the fact that it provides an opportunity for us all to meet and connect and to learn and to grow. You talked about how uh, you understand that people are going through challenges. I'm wondering, actually, since you mentioned that, did you join Legal Shield because of certain challenges that you were going through at the time, or did you just happen to come across the business opportunity and you thought, okay, this sounds like something that I could really stand behind and support? What led you to getting into the business?
Absolutely. So very good question. So we kind of fell into Legal Shield. We weren't looking for a business opportunity. My wife and I, we've got two children, have our primary residence, and we didn't have our wills and power of attorney. So a friend of another friend told us about this company, Legal Shield. I said, hey, let me take a look at it, see how it goes. We decided to try out the service. We're having such an amazing experience with the lawyers. So prior to becoming members of Legal Shield, just a little bit of a background is my wife and I only used lawyers twice to buy and sell our two properties. In our very first year of having the membership, we used the service over 10 different times. We were able to save over $8,000. So, Akua, if you go to a really good restaurant, you have a good meal, what are you going to do? You'd most likely tell other people about it. So that's what
Absolutely.
we that's what we started doing. We started telling other people about this amazing company that's helped us do X, Y, Z. Number one, getting our wills and power of attorney done, having some issues with a cell phone provider, which I cannot name, a contractor. And the gentleman was like, "Hey, Sid, I'd love to take those referrals. Do you keep your options open for additional income?" I wasn't aware of the business opportunity. And here we are 11 years later, having the ability to help both families and small business owners right across North America.
Wow, that's just, it's life changing. It
Absolutely.
truly is. And what is the immediate, I mean, you talked about some of the benefits that you've received from Legal Shield.
Yes,
So, what is the immediate emotional benefit that your customers receive when they decide to work with you? And what kind of support can they expect from you?
absolutely. I would say peace of mind. Peace of mind. They'll be rest assured that I'm here to help, and we have a home office with over 700 different customer service representatives that are there to help our members with any challenges. So, peace of mind is one thing that I can rest assured that my customers have when they put faith in me to be their trusted Legal Shield advisor.
Amazing. And peace of mind is something that money can't buy, right?
Absolutely.
So, what do you think are some of the common misconceptions that people have about running a business from home?
Oh, very, very good point, Akua. So a lot of folks thinks it's so they think it's so expensive to go into business. And a lot of these companies, they make it affordable with a lot of the home-based business opportunities. Of course, you'd have to find one that resonates with you, like just like what happened to us, it kind of sang out to us. And I mean, a lot of folks have some preconceived misconceptions that aren't really misconceptions at all. It's just, one person says something, their uncle, their aunt, and it's just absolutely not true. I mean, it's it's amazing to be part of a home-based business. Plus the tax advantages and the tax strategies you have as a home-based business owner. You get to write off vehicle allowances. I mean, I'm not a tax consultant, so maybe I'll just stop there, but there's just so many advantages that you should speak to a tax advisor or a tax consultant to benefit you.
I agree. There are more benefits than not. And
Absolutely.
I myself find that one of the misconceptions that some people have is that um, like you said, they listen to what other people's experiences have been. They assume that because it didn't work out for the other people, that they know that it won't work out for them, or they don't see it as real work. They don't see it as something that you can make a very good living from, that you can do
Absolutely.
very well making a living from home. And a lot of direct sales companies, they allow you to step into the company. And as you know, I have a direct sales business and I
Absolutely.
love it because it's not expensive to join. The
Mhm.
company provides a ton of support, a ton of training. It's free. They provide a
Absolutely.
lot of the content that we can use to share to educate, that I can use to share to educate my customers. It's amazing. And I know that Legal Shields provides a lot of tools as well.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the misconceptions that I find is that a lot of people, they don't think that it's really work when you're working from home. But I mean, hopefully that's changing. I think that what we've gone through the past 3 years has in the world has hopefully caused people to make a mind shift. So, how do you help people to understand that operating a business from home is possible and profitable? What do you do as a coach who's leading other people and introducing your business opportunity to others and helping them to get started?
Absolutely no. Great question, Akua. So basically, most folks are used to the traditional system of a 9 to 5 job. I mean, there's someone that has to tell them what to do, when to take break, when to go to the bathroom. But for us, we're independent. I mean, we try and coach our team and our associates, business partners as well, to treat it like, don't treat it like a hobby. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat it seriously, it'll pay you seriously. And that's the very different mindset of a home-based business opportunity. I mean, it's not a job. No one's going to beat you over the head and say, "Hey, make your calls, make your dials, make your connections, go to networking." You're independent to free as do as you like. Do you want to make money? Do you want to protect your family? Do you want to create that passive and residual income or create generational wealth, it's all in the balls in your court.
It's so true. And there are that's something that I myself still have to remind myself about, even though I have, had my own business for quite some time. I need to remind myself that I need to treat my business with respect and not just put it on
Absolutely.
the shelf, right? Because sometimes, it is easy to say, oh no, not today. Oh, maybe tomorrow. And sure, that is one of the benefits of having our own businesses, that we can decide when and where we choose to operate the business. But I think it's important to always ask ourselves, what will you do today that your future self will thank you for? Because
Absolutely.
yes, right? I mean, there are a lot of leaders in the direct sales industry who I watch, I watch them speak, and some of them, many of them have actually said they're glad that they worked when they did, when they didn't know they had to, because later down in life, unexpected things happened to themselves or to family members, illnesses, situations where they needed to take a step back for a little bit, but because of the work they did before, taking the business seriously
Absolutely.
before, they were able to still earn an income, even though they needed to take a little break and still come back to it. And so it's great that you provided those important suggestions about taking it seriously, and no one's going to remind you to make those calls, so you have to do it yourself. um,
Absolutely.
what are the top three things that home-based business owners should do, in your opinion, on social media to elevate their businesses? How can they use social media as a tool?
Oh, very good question, Akua. So social media is a powerful beast. It's got so much potential, whether it's LinkedIn for business professionals or whether it's Facebook, Instagram. Just keep contacting and put out content. I would say just content is king. Put the content out there, make those genuine connections. And when I say put out content, I mean valuable content. Don't make it all about product all the time. Put out valuable content that's out there because nobody wants to be commercialized. Look at their phone and it's like they're turning on their television, right? Nobody wants to see commercials all the time. Just create content and at the same time create genuine content because people want to know that we're real people too. We're not all movie stars, we're not all this glam and all this. We're regular people that are doing really good things, right? So just make it genuine.
I agree wholeheartedly. Just basically post from the heart, right?
Absolutely.
Great advice. Thank you, Sid. And lastly, um, what are some steps that you think every home-based business owner should take in order to help their business get off to the right start? What do you suggest to some of the people who are joining your team, or some of the people who you meet who are thinking about starting a business but aren't sure how to get started?
Very good question. So I would say whichever company that you are joining, follow the leadership within those companies. Those companies have designed systems, put systems in place to help create leaders and develop powerful people. I mean, it's there's so many folks that try and reinvent the wheel. And I mean, why bother doing that if there's a system that's created multiple millionaires? Why not follow it? Who are you to think that you know better? Just follow the system, find a mentor, find a leader, work with that mentor, follow the leadership that your company have. All of these companies have some phenomenal training. And like you say, majority of the training is all free. And I mean, just be open-minded and just follow the leadership. And you have to be coachable. Number one, I would say first thing is to be coachable. They need to be coachable. If you're not coachable, then you will have a very difficult time. For someone like that, I would say maybe this home-based business opportunity isn't for you. Maybe that type of person should maybe find a job or stay in their current situation. Sorry to sound so blunt, but I mean, a lot of the times it's just, it's the people. We're in a people attraction business, right? So
I think those are amazing tips. And I really like what you said about being coachable. I think that's something that not everybody understands, especially if they're not used to being working as an independent contractor. So, would you mind, Sid, just sharing? I mean, I know what being coachable means, but from your viewpoint, what does being coachable mean?
basically, if somebody that you've joined your company with is trying to train you, basically just give them a chance and let them educate you, let them train you. A lot of folks come into these businesses with their mindset, oh, I know this, I know that, I know everything. And those folks that have that type of mindset, will be an interesting person to try to work with. Just just be coachable and just try and understand that the person that brought you into the business has a vested interest in helping you, because together all ships rise together, and it's so much easier if we can do it all together.
Well, that is very sage advice. Thank you so much, Sid, for sharing your tips with the viewers. I want to thank you for appearing on the Pure Passion Biz podcast today. And for all of you who are watching, Sid's information is listed in the video description. Um, have a lovely day, and thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Akua. Stay safe, everybody. Stay safe and stay blessed. And more importantly of all, make sure you folks are staying happy. Thank you.
Absolutely.